Hello everybody, today we're going to begin painting our monochromatic landscapes. We're going to start with the sky. I want you to think back to your value scale you created last visit. Again, if you found some colors that you were happy with, we're going to begin by trying to recreate that color that we decided on our mixing tray. We're going to save this big open area though to create that sky color in. So if you remember correctly, I made kind of like a bluish green color to start with. So I'm going to quickly make that and then add lots of white to my middle area. Now I would encourage you for your sky to work with one of the larger brushes. Now there is only one big green one and one big red one in each paint bin. So if somebody's using one of those already, then you can grab an extra wide brush from the middle table. So to begin, I'm going to scoop a big old scoop of white into the middle. This will be the color or the area that I keep adding more paint to. So I want to start with quite a bit. And if you remember from last time, you really only needed a little bit of this color that you're working with to begin, because you want your first color really, really white. Okay, I'm going to add just a little more green in there. Okay, so here is my color I was working with. So I'm going to add a little bit of this all to that white in the middle. Just scrape out some extra there. Okay, so it also wouldn't hurt to kind of dip your bigger brush into the water a couple times to get a little bit of extra water in with this paint. Having a little bit of water on it is going to make it spread a little bit easier onto our paper, and it will make it last a little bit longer. Okay, so as long as I'm happy with that first color, I'm going to scrape out some of the extra paint back into the middle area. And then I'm going to begin. So I'll set my tray out to the side. Now I've been telling you all that we're going to overlap our layers a little bit to try to avoid any white spaces in between each layer. Now hopefully, sorry, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. But hopefully we'll be able to see this color just fine. Oh yeah, perfect. So there really is no right or wrong way to begin spreading this in my background sky area. But I do want to kind of keep a little bit of water on my brush. You'll notice it will just kind of allow me to spread that paint further. If you keep on kind of moving your brush like this and you're just seeing all these little white spots and it's not filling in that area, that's where you could just kind of dip the tip of your brush in water to help encourage it to move. Now, especially if you have a lighter color like what I'm working with, you'll be able to still see those pencil lines through. So I can still kind of see where my kind of sun or moon's going to go and my clouds, even if I paint over them. So that's why I was saying earlier, don't get too hung up on those little details. Now, I also want to, instead of trying to like paint up this way around my mountain and then down this way, I want to just kind of go right over it so that that sky color looks like it's just moving side to side throughout everything. It won't then look like there's little brush strokes going up and then sideways. I want it to try to look consistent with one another. So it is perfectly fine to cover the whole entire thing, but you can also just do a little bit of it like down here. Again, we're just trying to avoid having those little white spaces left by my mountain. So it's just important that I at least go over it a little bit. With my tree here, I know that that's going to end up covering all of it just fine, so I'm going to paint right over that. Apologize for the bell. Okay, so you can see I'm almost done with my first little color here. There's that top corner. And there, now I'm just kind of giving a quick little look over to make sure I got my whole entire sky the way I would like. Now, if you plan on putting in some clouds as well, I'll be creating a little video that can kind of give you some ideas to try for that. But otherwise, my next step as far as this goes would be to go back to my mixing tray, take a tiny bit more of that paint on my brush, mix that into my middle color, enough to see that value change. There we go, that's getting a little bit darker. And then I may now need to trade for a smaller brush, but once I create my next value change, then I will begin painting those first mountains that are kind of far away. Let's see, that's not quite much of a difference, so I might want to get it a little bit darker for that one. And with this too, I want to try to kind of imagine that I'm painting down along the mountain. So again, I'm not just going sideways, I'm kind of visualizing that I'm moving down that mountain. So I'm definitely going to switch to a smaller brush here as I try to fill in this area. I would encourage you to just go ahead and get a base color on like each layer, and then you can maybe kind of revisit areas as you watch some of my demo videos. I will be creating a video to talk about mountain textures, trees, reflections, and so on. So you may want to kind of take time to look into each of those additional videos as well. But here you can see already, I've got my first value of my sky, and then my next mountain area is slightly darker. So have fun and keep working along one layer at a time.